video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a seed stitch. It gives a really nice textured look to your work that's the same on both sides. So I really like this pattern because it's reversible. It's not a particular type of stitch that has to be displayed one way. So I do kind of like that because depending on the pattern, that is nice to have. And I just like the uniqueness of it, and I like the fact that it's a nice tight stitch, but it's also very lightweight and airy. So this is a perfect pattern for baby blankets, bunting bags. I actually have a pattern available there. You can find it in the link in the description below for a baby romper that I made using the seed stitch. So let's get started on how to do this stitch. I'm going to start off by telling you this is a 2-row repeat pattern, which I will explain in a moment. So the first thing, it's pretty simple. So what you're going to want to do is, first we're going to do a double crochet. So you're going to yarn over your hook, push your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. So that's a double crochet. The next stitch we're going to do in the very following stitch beside it is a single crochet. So you're going to push your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. In the next one we're going to do another double crochet. And then in the following stitch we're going to do a single crochet. And we're just going to go ahead and continue on, alternating between double crochet and single crochet all the way down the row until we get to the end. Now when you've reached the end of your work, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. So now this is where I'm talking about it being a 2-row repeat. In this next row, you're going to do the same thing where you're doing a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, but it's very important that you do your double crochets in all of the single crochets from the previous row, and you're going to work your single crochets in all of the double crochets from the previous row. So because I ended my last row on a single crochet, I'm going to start this one with a double crochet. And that's how you end up with that really unique, pretty looking texture. So you're just going to go ahead and do this all the way down the row. And you're just going to continue on with this pattern the same way. So it doesn't really matter about remembering necessarily which row, because when I say 2-row repeat, it's just because sometimes it's easier for people to remember, okay, my very first row I did, I started with, like, let's say if you're working on even numbers, you'll probably start and end with the same stitch. So the one after that, you're going to start and end with the opposite stitch, and it would just continue all the way. If you're not too worried about that and you just want to go ahead and it's easy for you to look and know which one is single crochet, which one's double crochet, and you can even just, if you put your work down and you come back to it later, you could always just undo it, and it's very obvious. Like when you pull, you can undo 1 or 2 from the previous row, because look, when you pull this out, that's obviously a single crochet. That's obviously a double crochet. So sometimes, to be honest with you, that's how I have figured out where I've left off. But you can also use stitch markers. There's lots of different ways. But ultimately, it's a very easy pattern. It's beautiful. I really like it. And like I said, I do have a pattern that I created using this stitch. It was for a baby romper. It's available in a few different sizes. And the link is in the description below. I hope that you enjoyed this stitch tutorial. please be sure to subscribe and have a look at the link in the description below that also contains a redirect to my website containing lots of other stitch tutorials.